Very good afternoon, everybody. We are going to work with database second normal form. In our previous chapters, we have seen normalization. Normalization is a term used to normalize the tables. Now, how do we normalize the tables? We normalize the tables by reducing the redundancies. Redundancy refers to the repetition of data. Now, when we apply normalization, we apply different forms of normalization, and as per rule and constraints of normal forms, we break the table into the required and necessary conditions. In first normal form, no two row in a table can have two, one or more than one elements. Now when we talk about this, so every element should be atomic. So now let us have a look to the second normal form. A table is said to be in second normal form if both the conditions are true. Now table is in first normal form and no non-prime attribute is dependent on the proper subset of any candidate of a table. An attribute that is not part of any candidate key is known as non-prime attribute. Now let us have a look to the example which is going to help us understand the scenario. Now suppose a school wants to store the data of teachers and the subjects they teach. They create a table that looks like this. Since a teacher can teach more than one subject, the table can have multiple rows for a same teacher. Now let us have a look to this. Teacher ID, subject and teacher age. Now in this candidate key is a combination of teacher ID and subject. Non-prime attribute is teacher age. Now the table is in first normal form because each attribute has atomic values. However, it is not in second normal form because non-prime attribute teacher age is dependent on teacher ID alone, which is a proper subset of candidate key. This violates the rule of second normal form as the rule says no non-prime attribute is dependent on the proper subset of any candidate key of the table. Now this makes the table complies with the second normal form. We can break it into two tables like this: table teacher details table. Now in this table we have just stored the details of the teacher. Now in the second table you can see that we have teacher ID and subject. Now this table complies with the second normal form. Now you can see that still 100% redundancy or repetition of data is not achieved. Now we are again going to work further with the third normal form to remove the errors or sorting out the problems with the second normal form.